In this lecture, we are going to be talking about some fundamental things that you need to avoid at all costs. There are some things that, believe it or not, are the root of many problems we experience on a daily basis, whether it's on a conscious or on a subconscious level, and you have the ability to avoid those at all costs and see the benefits you will get out of it just by avoiding them. First off, we're going to be talking about greed, abuse, dedication, and laziness. You need to avoid greedy activity as much as possible, because when you're feeling greedy, you are basically rewiring your brain to think that there is something missing. You need something, you are seeking something because it's not currently present in your life. And what that will do, you will feel that there is a missing piece, a void or loophole inside of you that you need to fill in to feel satisfied or joyful or happy. But because you're too greedy, you cannot actually get to that. And this will leave you vulnerable, feeling negative, and feeling toxicity overall. Second thing is abuse. Whatever you abuse, everything you do when you abuse it can turn into negative. Even the most positive things, when abused, can turn into negativity. Working out is one of the most essential things we can do in our lives. But if you abuse it, if you work out 6 hours a day, it will drain your energy and you will end up feeling worse. Abuse also, specifically when it comes to alcohol and drugs. All the things that are positive, if you abuse them, can have a negative effect. But if you abuse the negative things in your life, the effect can be way worse. It is okay to drink, but do it with moderation. Don't abuse it. If there's anything that's negative and you want to do it, you can do it with moderation. Do it to the extent where it will not hurt you or affect you in a negative way. Third, dedication. When we dedicate ourselves to useless tasks, you are wasting your time, and soon enough, you will find yourself running out of time, you will find yourself pressured, and you will find that there's this big void of emptiness inside of you because you're dedicating most of your time to tasks that are useless and not bringing you any good. Fourth, laziness. Oftentimes when we wake up in the morning and we're feeling depressed or we're feeling sad, we get these feelings that we cannot get out of bed. And usually when we have obligations, whether it's school or work, those obligations will force us to get out of bed. But when you do, you don't feel happy, you don't feel joyful, you feel forced, you feel pressured, you might feel angry, frustrated, and overall sad. But if you avoid this laziness and you always try to get up, no matter how you feel, just get out of bed, get off the couch, stand up, look up, stand straight, and you will start to automatically feel better because you did it not just because you have obligations, because you want to feel better and you will feel better. And the last four things we're going to talk about: worry, materialistic joy, gratitude, and non-fixed goals. You need to stop worrying what other people think. And we talked about, if you went through the lecture or you're going to go through it at one point, how people, opinion-based influence can affect us, how conditioning and also personal opinions can influence us in a negative way when we worry and dwell about them. So you need to avoid worrying at all costs. And one of the main things, one of the most effective systems you can use to avoid worrying is ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Once you become aware of the worst case scenario, think about the solution for this worst case scenario. And as soon as you find the solution for the worst case scenario, everything else will seem a lot less impactful on you, and you'll start feeling better. And of course, oftentimes we hear that people who focus on materialistic things would never experience joy. So don't focus on materialistic possessions, but focus on positive experiences in your life. Instead of buying $400 shoes, save up this money and go to a seminar where you will experience some life-changing principles, systems, rituals, and overall formulas that you can use on your daily life to experience joy. Because at the end of the day, joy comes from within. Third, and also one of the most important things, is to always feel grateful. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because we touched base on that in numerous lectures. And finally, non-fixed goals. When your goals are not fixed, you'll feel lost and you'll feel frustrated. But when your goals are set in front of you and you have a plan to reach those goals, you have this guideline, you have this blueprint towards your journey, and you know exactly what you need to do. You will avoid feeling uncertain, you will avoid this pressure that might come out of non-fixed goals pressure.